Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Fallen here for Sputnik Entertainment, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Karma Grip. So this is a product by GoPro. Of course, they had the Karma drone that sadly became a big commercial flop, and they came out with their own stabilizer a few years ago. And I've been playing around with it for the past day or so, and I want to give you my first impressions on it. Now, this is not a full review. There's not going to be any comparison footage. That is going to come in a future video. But I definitely want to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. I created a list of 3 good things and 3 bad things that I think about it. I want to discuss that with you, especially if you consider buying it. It's not the cheap purchase, and that's the first point, is that this thing will set you back $299 retail if you buy with any sort of sales, promotions, etc. Now, GoPro themselves have fully discontinued this product, and they dropped the price from $299 to $99 in the past month or so, and I kept eyeing it. I'm going to buy it tomorrow. Well, and then I log into GoPro's website one day and it's fully gone. So keep in mind, it does not come with any sort of cases or protection, so that will set you back another $20, $30 depending where you buy. But $299 is a lot of money. Now, I've seen a lot of used models go anywhere around the range of $160 to $220 range. Now, I was lucky enough that Best Buy was willing to do a price match for me, so I managed to grab it for $99.99, which is ridiculous pricing, especially how much the used ones are going for. And that's the biggest thing, is that $299 is borderline entry price of DSLR and mirrorless gimbals. Now, a lot of cell phone gimbals, a lot of action camera gimbals, a lot of kind of pocket-sized camera gimbals are in the range of $100 to $200. So that's, and there's a lot of amazing gimbals in that price range. Tech prices a lot of their gimbals. They actually have one that's a competing model to this one for $99. And I've done some work with Tech before, and I would love to do side-by-side comparison and a review. I'm going to reach out to them if they don't get back to me on time. I would definitely just buy it with my own money. By the way, this is not a sponsored video. GoPro did not send it to me. I picked it up myself, and like I said, for an amazing price. So do you think about it, is that if you are able to get it online, a cheap one online for a good deal, snag it, but make sure that you're buying it from a very vetted seller, because a lot of people, when it comes to used camera equipment online, not a big box store like Adorama or B&H, might not tell you 100% what could be wrong, or things that are wrong with it, or potentially nothing wrong with it and it's just a used model. But make sure it's a vetted seller that you're buying from. This is why I like to buy new equipment that I know that it's there's nothing should be wrong with it. Or if I'm buying from Adorama or B&H, their used departments knows what they're doing when they're listing new products. The biggest thing that I think is the number 2 is that it doesn't have all the features. Now, it has a tilt, up and down tilt, but it does not have a left to right pan, which was very surprising to me, and I kind of had to go over the manual a couple times. Actually, I hopped on YouTube and I watched a couple other videos on it. And I've had other action camera gimbals, GoPro gimbals from Tech and other companies, and they have pretty much 360-degree movement on them. So GoPro only having a up and down up and down tilt, not a left to right pan, was very surprising. So if you guys have an idea or know an answer why GoPro does not go left to right, only up and down, let me know, which was a very strange feature, especially, once again, I'm going to keep bringing this up. It's a $300, I almost said $200. It's a $300 piece of hardware, so you would think that it's going to have the best features. And it does have some amazing features that I'm going to get to in a minute. But let's wrap up with the third thing that I found that I did not enjoy, is that when you mount the GoPro inside the GoPro or the camera casing, is that it's very tight and very compact, and then it sits there so tight. When you pull it out, you're grabbing by the back of the camera pretty much, because I mean you have to pull it out this way, and you're grabbing technically by an LCD display, and LCD is not titanium, so you don't want to crush it. So you have to be very, very gentle but very stern at the same time how you do it. And then if you don't line it up 100%, it's not going to sit correctly. It's going to start stretching out the casing. And I get it, you don't want the camera wobbling around, and then because it does a lot of internal algorithm balancing of how it works. And it was very surprising that it's just like you have to place it perfectly and lock it in, and there you go. So that's on the bad side. Now there is some amazing good things about it. So first of all, the construction of it is amazing. Yes, I know I talked to you guys a little bit about the cage, but besides that, the handle feels very nice and solid. The whole build quality feels like it's a solid piece of technology and machinery. You know, like when you guys pick up something that's made really cheaply, and then you pick up something that has a solid build to it, and you can very much tell the difference. This is definitely not a $60 gimbal, $80 gimbal, not even a $100 gimbal. I would give it a nice $200, but I think them pricing it at a $300 range is one of the reasons why this gimbal did not see as much of a success that you would imagine it to have. Now, another part of it is because it's technically a native GoPro product, and one of the cool features of it is that when you plug in your GoPro into the gimbal, it gives the battery from the gimbal into the GoPro. So it extends your shooting time, if you're taking pictures, if you're taking videos, if you're doing some sort of a time lapse. And the battery that is inside the gimbal can be passed on to the GoPro. Even if it's 100%, it still creates that circular power, which is a nice feature that you don't want to, after you mount the GoPro and shot for a little bit, especially if you're shooting in 4K, max screen brightness, etc., the battery might drain on you very quickly, and you don't want to like take it out, pull it out, swap out the battery, etc. Now the final thing I want to talk to you guys about today is that how easy it is to use. Now, of course, action camera gimbals, cell phone gimbals, and little compact cameras gimbals don't have a lot of setup usually when it comes to it, but some can be a little bit, take you a little bit longer to figure out than others. Now, from very beginning to have this gimbal up and running, it took me about 10 minutes, which is a very good time, I think, especially it's a brand new gimbal that I wasn't familiar with how to use. I didn't read the instruction manual. I mean, who reads instruction manual for gimbals? Although I'm trying to figure out a couple of features still, so I might need to whip up the instruction manual at the end of the day. But it's very easy to use. So if you're just a family member that is traveling with their family on vacation and you want to have some nice smooth videos, some nice photos on your family vacations, on your travel adventures, etc. But if you want to do more experienced things, if you're a videographer, photographer, etc., you still have the capabilities with this gimbal. So the barrier to entry is definitely very low, which is an amazing feature. So it doesn't mean that they have cut back on a lot of functionality of this gimbal just because the barrier of entry is low. It's just they want everybody to be able to pick this up, start shooting in maybe 10 minutes. Versus a lot of DSLR and mirrorless camera gimbals might take you anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours between the balancing, calibration, restabilization, etc. Of course, that time decreases over time, but when you first set it up, it might take you a bit longer. Well, like I said, it took me about 10 minutes how to figure out from locking the cage, putting the GoPro in, connecting it, etc. Now, if you do pick it up, make sure that you update the firmware on it. Of course, you want to have the latest firmware on your camera and on your gimbal, so it has most up-to-date data on any algorithms, any functionality they might be adding. Although a lot of functionality for this gimbal, GoPro seems to be ending in the near future, if they haven't yet. Which is a little bit sad, but that's one of the main reasons I actually purchased the GoPro 7 over GoPro 8, is that the GoPro 8 is not does not fit exactly in this gimbal. Now, the GoPro community has been asking GoPro to actually make a cage mount that will support GoPro 8, and I do not see an easy way for them to do it, to be honest, at this point in time. Because GoPro thinks that the GoPro 8 actually has a very amazing internal stabilization versus GoPro 7. When you're shooting in 4K, it does not have stabilization. Now, I also have a lot of smaller GoPro accessories. some native, some third party, and one of the ones I have, which I left off camera, is the GoPro Swimming, which is their swim handle. And I've been using that as a gimbal, and to some extent that even gives me amazing footage. So I definitely want to do a three-way comparison: a third-party gimbal, no like selfie kind of stick, and then this 300 piece of gear gimbal. So let me know if you guys have any questions you guys want me to talk about. In a future video. Like I said, this is definitely not the first or the last. Well, the first video on this gimbal, but definitely not the last. I will definitely address your guys' questions and concerns either in the comment section or in a future video. Or if you want me to have some special comparison tests, let me know in the comment section or on social. All the social links are in the description of this video. And like I said, stay tuned next week for some sample footage and some additional insight into this gimbal. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, click that subscribe and like the buttons so that YouTube likes us as well. And that this way it gives you a way to stay updated on the videos. And if you're feeling especially generous and kind, click that bell notification so you guys can be part of the notification squad when the new video drops. Remember, new videos Monday through Friday. Thank you very much, guys, for all the love and support you guys show us on a daily basis. You guys are amazing. We have tons of great content in the works for you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.